I once carried the dreams of a nation. My ink, bold and fresh, shimmered under the Harare sun, promising stability, possibility, even prosperity. I was the symbol of a hard day's work rewarded, a means to buy a family dinner, a tank full of fuel for the drive home, a month's school fees paid in full. I meant security, I meant hope, but that was before my value evaporated faster than the morning dew. Before I became a punchline in a tragic joke, a relic of economic chaos. Now, I lie silent, flattened between the glossy faces of fridge magnets, souvenirs from Paris, Rome, New York, and a $100 trillion note, the largest denomination ever printed by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Yes, that number is real. 100 trillion. 12 zeros trailing a solitary one. But even then, I was powerless to buy you lunch. My worth was a mirage, shimmering and vanishing in the heat of hyperinflation. Imagine a world where money is so meaningless, it's worth less than the paper it's printed on. Where central banks churn out banknotes around the clock, faster and faster, until they run out of ink and special paper. Where a backpack crammed with cash buys you only a loaf of bread, if you're lucky enough to find any on the shelves. Welcome to Zimbabwe, circa 2008. Ground zero for one of history's most catastrophic episodes of hyperinflation. But it wasn't always this way. Once, Zimbabwe was known as the breadbasket of Africa. Its fertile plains yielded golden wheat and lush tobacco. The land was generous, the economy steady, and there was food enough for all. People spoke of a future, not just a present. Then came the land reforms. Farms seized, redistributed not by merit or training, but by political decree. Fields once green turned fallow. Harvests shrank. The shelves in grocery stores emptied. With food production plummeting, people grew desperate. The government, facing mounting economic pressure and a restless population, reached for a quick fix, one that would cost the nation dearly. They printed money. At first, tens of thousands, then millions, then billions, trillions. Each new note added more zeros, but less value. A $10,000 note became a million, then a billion, and still inflation surged ahead, outpacing every desperate effort. At hyperinflation's peak, prices doubled every day. The annual inflation rate? Over 231 million%. That's 221,000%. The numbers lose meaning. The mind reels at the scale. Money lost value by the hour. People rushed to spend their wages as soon as they received them, twice a day if they could. Because by sundown, their pay would buy far less than it had that morning. Eggs, bread, soap. Basic goods required mountains of notes. Children carted cash in wheelbarrows to market. Shoppers abandoned wallets for bags and suitcases. Counting money took longer than spending it. Soon, people lost faith. The Zimbabwean dollar became a symbol of broken promises, a vessel emptied of trust. It was no longer a currency, but a curiosity. Banknotes found new purpose, folded into origami, pasted into scrapbooks, used as wallpaper, even pressed into service as makeshift toilet paper. Cafes and shops posted signs. We don't accept Zimbabwe dollars. We don't have time to count them. Transactions slowed to a crawl, then to a halt. The economy ground to a standstill. In the end, the Zimbabwean dollar was abandoned. People turned to US dollars, South African rand, anything but their own battered currency. Later, people experimented with Bitcoin, seeking stability in a digital future after a paper passed. So here I am. The $100 trillion note. Once, I was issued in a moment of panic, spent in desperation, and discarded in resignation. Now, I am a collector's item, a souvenir for tourists, a curiosity for economists, a warning for the world. My image is shared online, my story told in classrooms and documentaries. But I am more than a banknote. I am a monument to what happens when trust collapses. I am a reminder that money is not just paper and ink or even numbers on a screen. It is faith, a shared belief that this note, this coin, this digital transaction has value. When that faith crumbles, so does the currency. Power in the end means nothing without trust. Governments can print money, but they cannot print confidence. They can decree value, but they cannot conjure belief. When leaders choose shortcuts over stewardship, when they ignore the lessons of history and the warnings of economists, they risk everything their people have built. My story is a cautionary tale. It echoes beyond Zimbabwe, beyond Africa, to every nation that has ever toyed with monetary recklessness or ignored the delicate balance of trust that underpins every economy. My faded ink is a testament to hubris, to loss, and to the fragility of prosperity. Yet, in my silence, there is hope. For even here, among the magnets and the memories, I remind those who see me that what is broken can be rebuilt, that economies can recover, trust can be restored, and money can once again mean something real. So, if money could talk, what would it say? Perhaps it would confess its fears and dreams, its journey from promise to parody. Perhaps it would whisper warnings to those in power. Guard the trust of your people, for it is more valuable than all the notes you could ever print. And perhaps, just perhaps, it would remind us all that value is not just what we hold in our hands, but what we hold in our hearts, a shared belief in tomorrow and in one another.